All right, it's Wes. I'm back again with episode 2 of our series of Climb to and the Big Shock to Mythic ranking. That is the goal of this web series. Long story short, Mythic is the highest you can rank in Magic the Gathering Arena. They go like this. Basically, it starts off bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond, and then Mythic. Plat's platinum. Anyways, the thing is, I want to touch base on this particular video is what do I currently have in my toolbox going forward? Because here's the thing, as you're building your deck, especially for standard, which is what I mostly play, you are going to mostly work toward having an idea and a concept to start with, but a goal in the end. That way, as you get better cards, you can in fact build a better deck. Now, I want to remain a free-to-play player. I do not want to spend money into a game like this online. So, how can I do that in the most effective way? The simple truth is you get daily quests. Now, of course, I've already done my daily quest. In another 10 hours, it'll reset. In your daily quest, you can either earn 500 gold coins or 750. You also get the chance to re-roll it. If you get a 500, you can re-roll it and it may become a 750. 750 per day just by doing quests is great. Sometimes those quests are as simple as just playing lands. Sometimes they're more complex, like playing X number of creatures or destroying X number of creatures. It's not always something you can do super easy. But the point is, you can earn money there in the game, in-game currency. The second part is, whenever you go over here, you can see that there are different kind of draft events. Now, I like draft, so this is right up my alley. This is something I enjoy. And so what you can do is you can go to a quick draft, and I'm just going to click on this and show you what is inside the quick draft. Basically, you can enter for 5,000 gold. I've got 11,000 up here that I've already earned. You play until you have 3 losses. Now, if you can build a deck that is a 50-50 deck, what that means is this. Let's say you win 2, you lose 2. So you get 2 wins, you get right about here. That means you have earned this award of 100 gems plus a pack, this award of 200 gems plus a pack. If I remember, they are cumulative. I've not done one. Shoot, I did one I think a couple years ago here on Magic Arena. But if I remember correctly, these are cumulative. So it's actually 300 gems total plus a couple packs, and eventually you begin to rate up higher and higher and higher. You can spend 5,000 gold, or you can spend 750 of the gems. Here is one thing to keep in mind. You never want to spend the gems except for on things you can only spend gems on. If I remember right, back when I played the first time, there was a specific draft that only would only allow you to draft with gems. So right now you got a quick draft, you also have got a traditional draft, and we've got a standard event. So I'm going to click on the traditional standard event, check it out. Basically, I can enter into this for 190 or 1,000 of these. Let's say I get a 50-50, and you play until you get 2 match losses. So let's say I get a 50-50 and get up to 2 wins. If I get 2 wins, I've won back my gold, and I've gotten cards. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but it adds up. Here you pick up 500, an additional 1,000, that's 1,500. You're coming out ahead by playing this way. That is about the only way to play as a free-to-play player. Now, last video that came out yesterday, now by the way, I am filming all these videos back to back to back, and they're going to be premiering over the next 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And the reason I'm doing it that way is I'm catching you up to what I've already been doing. And basically, it's one of those situations where, just kind of to mention again, the shop that I deal with has been great to deal with. I only started going there about a week or so ago. One of the first things he pointed me to is he had mentioned that some of the decks that you can buy in store have a code that you can play that deck then online. And if you take a look, I have got a handful of decks here. Let me find. I've got a Veto deck that I had purchased. I've got a Liliana deck that I had purchased. I got a Chandra Flame deck. I have got Kolga. I can't remember if it's Kolga. I can't remember how it's pronounced. But Kolga. or Kogla, I can't remember. You have got these different decks that I have in fact purchased. I purchased like 4 decks. These other decks you get for free by playing the game, by unlocking challenges. You get these decks, so that's great. The first deck I started playing with whenever I got these unlocked, this is before I went and purchased some, was this little Gobs of Goblins. It was just a quick rush deck, nothing too special, nothing too fancy. And then whenever I went and purchased them, I wound up with the Kolga and with Vito. And then I also got, I'm pretty sure it was Liliana and Chandra, yes. Now, I began to change those decks up, and I've tried them, and I've tried to run them a couple different ways. And the simple truth is, some of it sucked. That's kind of the thing. You've got to try things. And you got to remember, there's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors going on within this game. Some things that do well against some decks don't do well against others. The first deck I was actually running was this Chandra Burn deck. And basically, it is a burn deck with the intent of powering up your Spell Gorger and your Pyroceratops. So I was powering them up. And that was really my goal, was to get those big monsters out, pop out Chandra, just do direct damage, get these dudes pumping, and have a great thing. You know, we have Run Amok in here. We've got one interesting thing is these here are triggered by non-creature spell. Well, technically, Forbidden Friendship is a sorcery. Goblin Gathering is a sorcery. So those also still trigger these. The problem I started having, and we'll go into this next video, was I started running into decks that this is not good against. This doesn't ramp very quickly. It is a slow deck. There's not a lot of ability to be able to draw. Fire Prophecy is about the only one that gives you that ability. And so I was sitting here thinking to myself, you know, what else can I do? So the main thing I want to highlight today is how you can, in fact, earn money in this match format. How can you do it? Well, I've kind of already covered that. But what you do get, of course, is gold. And in the gold, you can use that to be able to get into tournaments to get more cards. That brings up the next thing I want to touch base on. Another mechanic in Magic the Gathering Arena is once you get, say, 4 cards of a specific type, it begins to feed into this crafting system. So I right now can craft 4 common cards, 23 uncommon, 9 rare, and 2 mythic rare cards right now. As I said, I played about a year or so ago for a couple months, and I built up some of this stuff. And basically, once you've got 4 of a card, that's how they kind of make it to where you're not getting a 5th and a 6th and a 7th. They begin to let you work toward unlocking additional cards through a crafting system. So basically, to summarize this entire video, the way to climb in Magic the Gathering Arena and being a free-to-play player is simple. Play the tournaments, unlock cards. Play the tournaments, unlock cards. Wash, lather, rinse, repeat. However that goes. Lather, rinse, wash, whatever. But the point is simple. It's about it is a grind. It is a grind fest. And basically you start off with a deck idea and you build toward that slowly over time. Now here is another thing I want to point out. My goal for this adventure is mythic ranking. Mythic ranking, from my understanding, from the research I have done, it is easy to climb in this game, but it's hard to stay there. And what they mean by that is this. Whenever I play a silver ranked game right now, which I'm in mid-silver roughly, when I play a silver ranked game, basically it takes like 3 wins to climb up to the next ranking. But whenever you lose, it only takes off a half of a win, basically. So it's a 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of idea versus your wins and losses at this point. Over time, that eventually becomes 1 step forward, 1 step back, and they equal out. And I don't remember exactly where it happens. I think it's either in gold or diamond, somewhere in there, where it becomes harder to climb. So the simple truth is the decks are going to become more difficult for me to be able to keep going. But hopefully by then we've unlocked some wonderful decks and some cards that have been able to power us through that. So in the meantime, thanks for tuning in, and I hope this video was helpful to you.